No one can be completely sure when their life might be in danger. A car accident, a natural disaster, or simple carelessness can lead to someone's demise. However, it's important not to despair because there might be true heroes nearby, ready to help you cope with any misfortune. And in this video, you will see the miracles that ordinary people are capable of. Enjoy the viewing. A family gathering by the pool almost ended in tragedy when a child slipped into the water. But the head of the family quickly reacted and pulled the boy to safety, preventing him from drowning. In a social experiment, a man acting as a maniac began to bother a woman in an elevator by touching her hair. However, his attempts to touch the young woman were sharply stopped by another man, proving that people care about strangers' problems. A novice gymnast failed to perform a maneuver and almost got injured, but an experienced coach immediately caught the boy in the air, preventing him from falling.
Oh, Jesus.
A rabid dog attacked children returning from school. They were very lucky that another dog was nearby, which bravely defended the kids from the aggressive animal. At an intersection, one car ran a red light due to the driver losing consciousness. A woman noticed this and, jumping out from behind the wheel, began actively calling for help to stop the uncontrollable car and save the passengers. A woman with a child entered her home territory, but she didn't notice a stalker behind her. However, a vigilant neighbor suspected something was wrong and verbally told the man to leave. Noticing a child standing at a pedestrian crossing covering his head from the terrible downpour with a school bag, a female driver did not hesitate and handed him her umbrella, then returned back behind the wheel. A young mother left her child in the care of friends while she stepped away. Noticing that the boy was in danger, a concerned man wanted to catch him, but a dog that emerged prevented him from touching the child. A swan's head got stuck between iron fence bars, leaving it unable to breathe. However, a passerby skillfully helped the bird to free itself. An elderly man on a bicycle almost fell onto the tracks, but a passerby who noticed the fall helped him up and prevented him from being hit by a train. During surgery, an earthquake began, but contrary to safety protocols, the doctors did not stop the medical procedure, thus saving a human life. An airport employee noticed a small child about to fall off a baggage check table and quickly intervened to prevent the fall. A drunk man fell onto railway tracks where a train was due to pass in a few seconds. If not for the actions of a railway station employee, it could have ended tragically. While driving, a woman choked on gum and, turning on her hazard lights, stopped the car. She gestured for a police officer's help, who successfully performed the Heimlich maneuver for the first time, preventing her from choking.
Okay,
Okay, set that. I need you to set that for a minute and catch your breath.
A young man saved a python's life by giving it mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Every creature deserves a right to life. Just as he started dinner, the head of a family heard a strange noise above and, noticing the collapsing ceiling, hurried to pull his children out of the house. When a delivery driver arrived at an address and suddenly felt unwell, the homeowner's vigilance was crucial. Fortunately, these compassionate people called an ambulance and the man was saved. A girl walking home late at night was accosted by a pair of unruly men. If not for the intervention of 3 resting workers, her fate could have been uncertain. An unruly man with a cane attacked an elderly man pushing a cart. Thanks to bystanders, the attacker was successfully driven away, and the elderly man was unharmed. A little child's head got stuck in a car window, but a passerby quickly reacted and broke the glass with his hand. His actions were recognized by the authorities in Palestine. Through joint efforts, people can not only pollute canals, but also clean them of trash. A dog that fell into a pool spent a long time in the water but was not worried, knowing his friend would help him out eventually. Even a relatively small car can handle a big problem. A man used a shovel to hold up high-voltage wires damaged by a falling tree during a rainstorm, ensuring the safety of drivers on the road. A truck driver lost control and nearly fell off a bridge with his vehicle. Fortunately, rescuers managed to pull the driver to safety. It's the duty of an older brother to always help his younger siblings, and this little guy excels in his role, although he himself is just a small child. A little girl was not afraid of a homeless man with tremors and gave him water from her bottle. A man in a bandana noticed a disoriented teenager standing by a door and tried to take him home. However, the boy suddenly felt ill and would have fallen to the ground had he not been timely supported. The ice could not support the weight of a dog, and it fell into the cold water. The owner, worried for his four-legged friend, did not fear frostbite and rushed to help.
Oh my God!
A store employee became suspicious of a teenager's behavior and, realizing the reason for his actions, quickly performed the Heimlich maneuver to prevent him from choking. The timely assistance saved the teenager's life. Caught up in playing on an escalator, a girl didn't notice her skirt's hem getting caught in the steps. She was in danger, but vigilant adults grabbed the child in time and stopped the escalator. A man sitting in a car noticed a child about to be crushed by a falling garage door. He jumped out of the car, held up the falling door, and prevented it from crushing the child. Language barriers are no problem when a mother is lost, so a little boy easily helped a lamb find its lost sheep. A tragedy was narrowly avoided in an elevator shaft, but thanks to a man's actions, his wife will always know that her and their child's safety is his top priority. Noticing a fleeing criminal, a man cleverly tripped him up, greatly assisting the police squad that arrived just in time. A detained teenager noticed that a police officer felt ill and called for his colleague's help, then quietly sat in a corner without trying to escape. The strong current of a river didn't give a woman a chance to get out of the water. Fortunately, compassionate people, also risking being swept away, helped her reach the shore and receive medical attention. A boy noticed a white Labrador desperately sitting in front of a closed water tap and turned it on. The dog began to drink eagerly and then pawed at the boy in thanks. A young family was watching their child's first steps when the father noticed the girl was about to fall. With a quick hand movement, he threw a pillow under her head, thereby preventing injury. Dashcam footage shows an elderly woman trying to cross the road, but falling into a snowbank and unable to get up without help. A driver noticed the woman's difficulty, stopped his car, and ran to her aid. While jumping from a small height, a snowboarder did not expect to end up buried in snow. Had he been alone, he might have perished, but fortunately his friend was vigilant.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you good?
Yeah, man. Think you go bye-bye.
A boy slipped from a cable car in the mountains, but timely help prevented him from crashing. An angry father publicly punished his daughter and did not allow anyone to approach to save her. However, as soon as he was distracted, compassionate neighbors immediately neutralized him. People remained in a smoke-filled house, but passers-by waited for rescuers. An elderly man decided not to waste time and carried the victim out of the burning building himself.
Oh my God.
A small dog entered an elevator without its owner and could have died if not for the help of a boy who detached its leash. A ram would never have escaped a bog without assistance. It was fortunate to meet someone who could rescue it from the mire. Loyal to its owner, a shepherd dog routinely helps speed up the movement of the wheelchair and is then gratefully treated to a treat from his hand. A car's interior caught fire, but the driver did not leave his seat until he had pulled the child out of the vehicle. It's hard to imagine what else people are capable of if they unite their efforts. A coach quickly kicked a falling training mat away from children. The police found a boy in the river who had been missing for several days and rescued him, bringing him back to his family. A man noticed a sea turtle very far from the shore. After ensuring it was alive, he carried the turtle to the water and released it into the ocean. A compassionate man hand-fed a thirsty cat, for which the furry one was extremely grateful. The virtuoso work of an excavator operator was able to delight and inspire a young child. A man attempted to lead a woman away through conversation, but his efforts were in vain when a vigilant woman intervened in their discussion and prevented a crime. A girl walking along the road was nearly abducted by strangers, but a timely arriving dog chased away the unsuccessful kidnappers and saved her. Athletes worked together to dig out an unlucky snowboarder from under a thick layer of snow who could have perished had they not extracted him in time.
Digging around okay.
A rescuer, risking his health, pulled children trapped in a heavily smoke-filled car to safety. Without his bravery, they would have faced serious danger. An unruly man began harassing a young woman on a train, but thanks to the vigilance of other passengers, she was not threatened. An unattended car nearly drove into a crowd of students. They were very lucky that a man reacted in time and stopped the car before a collision occurred. A young woman was trapped in an overturned car, but passers-by quickly came to her rescue and pulled her out. The rescue operation was fast and timely because the car caught fire entirely a few minutes later. A guide dog left its blind owner at a pedestrian crossing and dashed under the wheels of cars. After stopping the traffic, it returned to the man and helped him cross the road. Standing knee-deep in mud, city residents helped to move small children to a safe place, forming a human chain after a natural disaster struck the city. Real heroes are never afraid to help others, even if they themselves might face danger. They know that every life is valuable. A mentally unstable man attacked a woman with scissors, but compassionate people rushed to her aid, hitting the assailant on the back of the head with a shovel, which helped free the girl from his clutches. Fans helped a race car driver pull his vehicle out of a ditch through a joint effort. A cow was being swept away by a strong stream, but a swift movement of an excavator's bucket saved the animal. A puppy was tragically struck by an arrow, piercing it through. The four-legged fighter bravely struggled against death, and rescue by animal lovers soon followed. A police officer unsuccessfully tried to catch a criminal. The thief almost managed to escape, but a compassionate courier helped to apprehend him. Despite the downpour, a man ran onto the road to stop a car. Had he not done this, a tree would have fallen directly onto the vehicle. If not for the vigilance of a shopping center employee, a little girl's life could have been in danger on an escalator. An elderly man noticed a duck under a car tangled in black cord. After freeing the bird, he found a snake firmly gripping it, after which he separated and released the animals. A child, lagging behind his mother and engrossed in play, jumped onto the railway tracks. Noticing the danger, station workers and a woman rushed to save the boy. A barrier that had lowered onto the road blocked an old woman's way. Fearing for her safety, a driver jumped out of his car and quickly moved her to a safe area. Every evening, electronics store employees turn on cartoons on the display TVs for homeless children, giving them a piece of kindness. Strong winds almost tipped over a truck's trailer, and the driver alone couldn't rectify the situation. Fortunately, other motorists noticed his trouble and rushed to help. An eagle flying over a riverbank noticed a little girl and tried to grab her. The girl's father quickly reacted to the diving threat and snatched his daughter just before the eagle's talons reached her, leaving it without its meal. After a flood, many elderly people were stuck on high ground, unable to get down on their own. Fortunately, rescuers and kind-hearted neighbors helped them after the danger had passed. A little kitten fell from a balcony and struggled to hold on to the edge of the roof, mewing pitifully. People heard its cries and gladly extended their hands to save the fluffy animal. A boy who had lost his limbs couldn't even feed himself. He was very fortunate to have a true friend willing to lend a helping hand. During an earthquake, one student did not forget about his friend and carried him out of the building. A man's leg fell through a gap between the platform and the train, but thanks to the joint efforts of passengers, he was quickly pulled out and unharmed. A woman unsuccessfully tried to reach the shore, but huge waves prevented her from being saved. Fortunately, a man noticed her and helped the woman to safety. A driverless car nearly crashed into a wall, but the driver quickly reacted and stopped it with his own hands. Generous athletes helped their competitor finish the race by carrying him to the finish line. A crowd rushed to help a man swept away by a water stream. The joint efforts of everyone helped save another life. A snowboarder buried under snow could have said goodbye to life had a passing skier not noticed a board sticking out of a snowdrift. He quickly dug out the athlete's face, helping him escape from the snow.
I'm good.
Okay, good. We'll get you out of here in a sec, okay?
A car skidded severely on the road and could not have been removed without outside help. Thankfully, passing travelers did not leave the driver alone with this problem. Crossing the road, an elderly woman fell in the middle of the highway and couldn't get up by herself. A driver noticed and rushed to help, carrying the old woman to a safe place in his arms. This homeless man has a huge heart, as he's willing to give his last piece of food to other deprived creatures like himself. A bus driver noticed an uncontrollable car about to fall into a ditch. Without hesitation, he jumped out from behind the wheel and stopped the vehicle. And that's all from me. If you liked this video, don't forget to rate it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Your activity is the best reward for me. Thank you for your attention. See you soon. Goodbye.